A Christian woman, skin tight jeans, that look like a whore.
Pastor Gino Jennings stirred up major controversy after making strong statements against Christian women wearing makeup and jewelry. He claimed such women had the look of a whore, sparking outrage and debate across the Christian world and beyond. One of the most notable reactions came from Jamaican dancehall artist Mr. Vegas, leading to a live confrontation during a holy convocation in Jamaica. Mr. Vegas took offense at Pastor Jennings' remarks and was given an opportunity to voice his disagreement publicly. The moment quickly escalated. During the service, Mr. Vegas walked up to the stage, demanding that Jennings play the original clip of the controversial sermon. He could be heard repeatedly shouting, "Play the tape! Play the tape!
Play the tape! Play the tape!"
Pastor Jennings declined, saying the recording was widely available on social media, making replaying it during the service unnecessary. Despite Jennings' refusal and multiple calls for order, Mr. Vegas persisted. Jennings eventually instructed church security to escort him out after Mr. Vegas refused to leave or stop speaking. "Usher him out," Jennings said repeatedly, which led to Mr. Vegas being forcibly removed from the auditorium. As he was taken out, he shouted, "I'm already here. If you've got to move me, call the police." Later, Mr. Vegas accused some members of the church's security team of carrying firearms. This prompted a visit to the police station by Pastor Jennings and several church members. According to Jennings, the police officers were professional and respectful. The issue of alleged gun possession was quickly debunked when security footage and social media clips of the incident were reviewed, showing that no weapons were present. The officers then reportedly told Jennings and his team that they could press charges against Mr. Vegas and his entourage if they wished. The confrontation became symbolic of a deeper ideological divide. Mr. Vegas argued that people should have the right to express themselves freely, including through makeup and jewelry. In his view, criticizing women for how they choose to dress or present themselves was judgmental and out of touch with modern Christian values, which emphasize grace, love, and acceptance. Many others shared Mr. Vegas's view, asserting that Pastor Jennings' statements perpetuated outdated, patriarchal ideals. Critics emphasized that labeling women based on their appearance, particularly linking makeup or fashion choices with immorality, is not only theologically problematic, but also socially harmful. "This is crazy," said one vocal critic online. "Isn't the Bible supposed to say, 'Come as you are'? Why is red lipstick a sin now?" Another woman argued passionately, stating that instead of judging women who wear makeup or tight jeans, Jennings should be ministering to them, showing love and compassion. Furthermore, detractors questioned Jennings' leadership structure, noting the absence of women in positions of authority within his church. Critics accused him of harboring misogynistic beliefs, limiting women to roles of servitude and motherhood, and refusing to allow female pastors, deacons, or ministry leaders. He sees women only as vessels for procreation and service, one commenter remarked, decrying what they viewed as an unhealthy and unbiblical subjugation of women. However, the controversy did not unfold in a vacuum. A large number of Jennings' followers and other conservative Christians supported his stance wholeheartedly. To them, his message was not only biblically accurate, but also necessary in a time of increasing worldliness in the church. These supporters cited scriptural passages such as 1 Timothy 2, 9:10 and 1 Peter 3, 3:4, which advocate for modesty and inner beauty over outward adornment. "We need to go back to the Bible," said one churchgoer. "Too many women come to church dressed like they're headed to the club. We need holiness back in the house of God." Pastor Jennings himself stood firm. In subsequent sermons, he defended his statements and used visual illustrations during services to compare what he called modest attire to what he described as worldly fashion. On stage, women were brought up in contrasting clothing, one in conservative attire, the other dressed as Jennings described, in tight, flashy clothes. "You're mad because this looks like your daughter, your wife, your mama," Jennings thundered from the pulpit. He insisted that Christians, especially women, are called to stand apart from secular society through their behavior and appearance.
This is not the look of a Christian woman. The Bible said that the women adorn themselves how?
In modest apparel.
Come here, Sister Bailey. This is modest.
Modest apparel.
Now, what's wrong with this? What's wrong with it? How in the world you expect for a man to come at church and think about Jesus and you looking like a stripper? Bible says, let the women...
That women adorn themselves.
How?
In modest apparel.
Modest.
Modest.
Respectable.
According to Jennings and like-minded preachers, modesty is not merely a preference, but a commandment from God. Quoting 1 Timothy 2, 9-10, he highlighted that Christian women are instructed to adorn themselves in modest apparel, with shamefacedness and sobriety, not with braided hair or gold or pearls or costly array. Another favorite scripture of this movement is 1 Peter 3, 3-4, which emphasizes the hidden man of the heart and the ornament of a meek and quiet spirit. These, they argue, are God's standards, not society's. This debate also extended beyond the walls of Jennings Church. Social media became the battlefield for discussions on modesty, gender equality, religious freedom, and cultural relevance. While some TikTok and YouTube users posted reactions defending Jennings' scriptural backing, others went viral, mocking his tone, his comparisons, and what they considered to be a harsh and outdated worldview. For many young Christians and feminists, the core issue was not about clothing or makeup, but about autonomy and dignity. They argued that people should be able to express their spirituality and personal relationship with God without being reduced to outward appearances. In an age of progressive theology and inclusion, some found Jennings' stance damaging to the church's outreach mission. How can you win souls by condemning the very people you're trying to reach? Asked one critic in a viral video. Christ sat with prostitutes and tax collectors. He didn't call them names, he called them loved. Nevertheless, Jennings' defenders argue that telling the truth, however harsh, is a form of love. They see today's culture as being too soft, too compromised, and too eager to water down the gospel in favor of acceptance and popularity. In their eyes, Jennings is one of the few leaders remaining who are willing to stand flat-footed on Scripture, calling sin what it is. Beyond individual opinions, this situation raised essential theological and sociological questions. How should Scripture be interpreted in the 21st century? Are certain biblical instructions cultural and time-bound, or are they eternal and universal? Can personal freedom coexist with biblical obedience? How should Christian leaders approach correction, publicly or privately, boldly or gently? These are not new questions, but the debate surrounding Pastor Jennings and Mr. Vegas brought them into fresh light, especially in a world increasingly connected by instant communication. The viral nature of the exchange meant that people from different denominations, countries, and belief systems were suddenly part of a larger conversation about modesty, judgment, and spiritual leadership. It's also worth noting how different faith communities view modesty. In Islam, for instance, the concept of hijab includes both a physical and spiritual component, covering the body while also maintaining humility and piety. In Orthodox Judaism, modest dress is also a key tenet, particularly for women. These interfaith parallels show that the tension between appearance, identity, and faith is not limited to Christianity alone. What makes the Jennings V's? Vegas debate particularly potent is its blending of old and new ancient scripture versus modern culture, pulpit authority versus digital activism, religious tradition versus personal autonomy. It's a conflict that mirrors the broader struggle of many religious institutions, how to stay true to their roots while remaining relevant in a changing world. But beyond the drama, the deeper question remained: what does the Bible really say about modesty, appearance, and Christian identity?